So, the way you would actually test a piece of flint to see if it was any good was by sound. You didn't have to break it open to see what it looked like inside. If you had a really poor quality piece, it just gives you that dull clack kind of sound. But if you ever scrabble around in a quarry or even on the beach, if you find a piece that's much higher quality, it's got a beautiful ring to it.
I'm looking at striking this here and hoping that the shockwave, or intending the shockwave, to come round and carry itself through the back here. That's going to give me a fairly substantial lump that I can take away and turn into a Handaxe. So 2 to 3 inches in and give it a good smack. And that can go down to the deck. Now what is about this is the shockwave just travelled all the way through. It didn't hit any cracks, right? So I need to come in at it and take, let's say I want to take this top right off. Which is the best way to come in at it? Now, what I did at this end is I took this little flake off just to give me a clean area that I could strike, right, that lent in, and what I'm looking for is an angle which is around about 70 degrees to the flake that's to the surface after the flake's been removed. So through the next direction for me to come at here, I could build a platform here and come up across here. But that's actually lower down on the stone, so it now means that that flake's got to get a lot thicker on its journey. So that I'm better off coming from this side, where it's thicker in the first place, in and allowing it to graduate away. So that's the preparation flake. And now if we turn it over, we can see the angle's nice, sitting there at around about 70 degrees, and that gives me good contact on the lower section to then remove out of the bottom here. I'm just going to come to this end. Just take a little bit more preparation flake and take a flake through here that will clean that out. Now, one of the things about knapping flint, that it tests and stresses the modern mind, because we get all these little lumps and bumps that we think to ourselves, well, that can't be right, that's got to go, and this has got to go, and that's got to change. And what a tranché Handaxe is they put a platform on the side, take a shot, and blow the tip right off. But it blows the tip across, and it leaves you a razor blade right at the front. So now you've got a Handaxe which holds in the hand, and you can skin, carve, and it's razor sharp, but it's semi-destroyed because half the tip's gone. But that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted a tool. They weren't trying to make an ornament, you know. They were making some pretty cool, sophisticated stuff. If I take another swipe at this in the wrong place, I'm going to destroy it. And I really like what I've got, even though it's got a lump on the back, which I was trying to get off. You'll find prehistoric tools that have got lumps on that they've tried from every direction to get, so you've got like a circular hinge sitting on it, because it was like, you couldn't get it off. But it was still a tool.
So I'm just starting off with a hammer stone, and all I've done is trim around the edge, and all I'm doing there is getting rid of any thin, delicate edges that are going to be very weak. Just to make sure all of those very thin edges are removed. A quick grind all the way around, and then I can switch over to using, this is a piece of red deer antler, but as we strike onto the edge, it allows the flint to bite into it slightly, so it gets a perfect grip. So, here we go. Let's make some rubble. Now you can see this outer skin, this chalky stuff on the outside. It's what we call cortex. Now that doesn't produce a particularly strong or sharp edge, so the best thing we can do is get rid of that. But that's ideal because we need to make a cutting tool, especially a meat cutting tool, very thin. So it can, as it cuts, it can fall into its own cut and sink and continue to cut. See what happens. So you can see that cortex, that chalky outer skin, is virtually gone. Just going to keep working. There we go. So once I've got a sharp edge right the way around the outside of the tool, I can switch over to using a grinding stone. And all I'm going to do is grind off, again, the really sharp edges because they're very brittle. And I want those edges strong enough to confidently give it a good thump. Thank goodness it didn't break. There we go, so that's what we'd refer to as an ovate Handaxe. You can see the edges straightened up quite nicely, so you can quite comfortably hold that now and really get to town on your mammoth. Had me rather worried, running right the way through.
How thin is it? Brilliant.